Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Video Game Easter Eggs and Hidden Details, the series where I share some of the best Easter eggs and details in video games, with the only rule being they cannot have featured on this channel before. Basically, if you want new Easter eggs delivered to your subscription feed each and every week, then make sure you're subscribed. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with a Back to the Future Easter egg that might just be the best Back to the Future Easter egg ever. You see, in Fortnite's attempts to cross over with just about everything ever made ever, you can now find the DeLorean in Back to the Future. And if you followed this channel for any amount of time, you'll know that this is nothing we haven't seen hundreds of times before. Well, what makes the Fortnite DeLorean so special is that you can actually drive this one. Now, this is obviously cool, but what happens when you reach 88 miles per hour makes it even cooler. So, when you reach 88 miles per hour, the DeLorean will travel back in time, and when it returns bearing gifts. Attached to the roof of the car is a chest, and inside the chest are weapons and items from previous Fortnite seasons, which I think is really clever. Like I said, I think that this might just be the best Back to the Future Easter egg in any game ever. Oh, and when exploring the latest Fortnite map, I found a trailer that's apparently home to Kendano Chiefs, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to Keanu Reeves. I did check the other trailers, but it seems that they all belong to Mr. Chiefs. Now, Dispatch was my personal game of the year for 2025, and I know that because it's currently my desktop background, and to make it to desktop background status, you have to be pretty special. Anyway, a lot of the Dispatch cast is made up of YouTubers and celebrities, and surprisingly, the voice acting is pretty good. Sure, some of the characters are better than others, but overall, I have no complaints. One of the YouTubers to lend their voice to the game was Jacksepticeye, who voices the pint-sized testicle destroyer, Punch Up. Well, if you pair Punch Up with Waterboy, there is a chance that this will happen.
Top of the morning! Don't even try it.
So that was a reference to Jack's YouTube intro where he says this.
Top of the morning to you ladies, my name is Jacksepticeye!
Now, something that I love about Dispatch are the minor changes that can only be noticed on multiple playthroughs. Of course, that's kind of the whole point of a choose-your-own-adventure game, but it doesn't make it any less fun to spot those changes. One of the more subtle differences can be seen when you first meet Phenomenon. You see, the Phenomenal One is dating Blonde Blazer, but Robert isn't aware of this when given the option to lean in for a kiss with Blazer right at the beginning of the game. Well, if you didn't lean in, then the music that plays when you first see Phenomenon will sound like this.
Blonde Blazer. Are you ready to go?
So the music is almost choir-like as the chiseled hero descends from the heavens. However, if you did try to kiss Blazer, the music will sound like this instead.
Blonde Blazer. Are you ready to go?
So, because you kissed his girlfriend, the music is now much more sinister, making Phenomenon appear pretty damn scary. Like I said, the game is full of moments like this, but this is definitely one of the cooler examples. Oh, and did you notice that if you read Robert's employee number backwards, it says boobies? I know I'm an adult and I shouldn't really find this funny, but come on, it says boobies. Now, I've said before that one of my favourite things about the PlayStation 5 is the DualSense controller. See, I did say that. Well, another game that takes advantage of the DualSense's lights is the excellent Neon White. You see, each character in the game is named after a colour, kind of like Reservoir Dogs, minus all the dancing and ear stuff. Anyway, whenever a character speaks, the colour of their name will show on the DualSense. Here, take a look.
Heaven is... I don't know why I'm...
Oh, what? Wanna walk to the believer's sermon together?
Yo, bro, you made it!
Again, it's such a simple thing to do, but I always like it when developers make use of the DualSense technology, regardless of how minor it may be. Now, Terminator 2D No Fate is based on the brilliant 1991 Terminator 2 movie, so that means there are going to be loads of references to the movie in this game. With that being said, there is a really cool Easter egg that you can find during the bar fight level that is too awesome not to mention. Now, if you've never seen the movie, Arnie travels back through time and is naked. In the need of clothes, he heads to a bar where he politely asks for a gentleman's attire. And of course, the gentleman declines and a bar brawl ensues. Now, the song that's playing during this scene is Dwight Yoakam's Guitar and Cadillacs, and that song can be heard in-game.
Now his guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music.
I mean, it's a catchy song, but it's not exactly a bar brawl song, is it? Well, if you smash the nearby jukebox, the music will change to something much more appropriate. So this is Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. And it's a much better song to beat up drunken bikers to.
Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
Now this song wasn't chosen at random, despite fitting the vibes perfectly. You see, this is the same song heard after Arnie has managed to secure his clothes, his boots and his motorcycle. Like I said, the game is full of scenes taken directly from the movie, but this is really cool. Now this next game is another game to add to the enormous list of Steam horror games. But this one has a pretty clever twist. In Deadcam, you're being hunted by a possessed woman. So far, so normal. Well, for a Steam horror game anyway. Well, what sets Deadcam apart is that you don't have to wonder where the possessed woman is, as you can see her at all times. You see, before being possessed, the woman was wearing one of those cameras that records your face, which means that not only do you get to see where she is, but you also get to see her very creepy movements in real time. Honestly, it's pretty clever, and somehow seeing the lady's every move makes her much scarier. Now with all that being said, you might be wanting some backup, and it just so happens that I have the perfect companion for such a game. If you put the noodles and hot sauce in the microwave, you will summon one of the most powerful video game beings of all time. Okay, so I may have oversold him a little bit, but the promise of freshly microwaved noodles was enough to summon Twitch streamer Queso. And you know what that means? That means don't forget to use code CAP at GamerSupps where you'll get 10% off every order that you make ever. This even includes Queso's nuclear bombsicle flavour, which I can personally guarantee doesn't taste like noodles and won't summon Queso. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to order yours today. Anyway, after eating his noodles, Queso will retreat to the basement, where he will sit for the rest of the game. Which, to be fair, isn't a bad idea. Now, if I'm honest, I've known about this next Easter egg since the game released, but I just didn't want to have to play the campaign to record it. I mean, the Battlefield 6 campaign isn't awful, it's just that it's pretty meh. Anyway, during Mission 5 inside one of the tents, you can find this. Now at first, nothing about this seems strange. But if we take a closer look, we can see that someone has had the bright idea to add a bipod to a knife, which isn't something you see every day. Well, this strange invention is a reference to an episode of the hilarious Battlefield Friends.
Hey, thanks for the spot. I just unlocked the bipod on my knife. Whoa.
The other Easter eggs that I found in Battlefield 6 can be seen in multiplayer, and more specifically the Eastwood map. First up, near the A capture point, you can find this. So it's the all too familiar sight of a pizza on a roof, which is a reference to this scene from Breaking Bad. The other Battlefield 6 Easter egg also doesn't win any points for originality. At the golf club, you can find this. So it's a tricycle, which on its own isn't that special. But if we take a look at the carpet that this tricycle is sitting on, we can see that it's the same carpet seen in The Shining. That means that the tricycle is a nod to the same tricycle that Danny uses in the movie. I mean, I did say that it wouldn't win any points for originality, and in fact, The Shining is referenced so much in games that it may even lose points. Now recently, the Burning Springs area was added to Fallout 76, and it brought with it some cool new Easter eggs. First up, at this location on the map, you can find the World of Corn. Oh, and rad scorpions. Well, near the World of Corn, you can also find this. Now, perhaps I'm reading too much into this, but I'm pretty sure that this is a Portal reference. You see, the hard hat on the left is blue, and the hard hat on the right is orange, which are the same colours as the portals in, well, Portal. Couple that with the fact that the first corpse dived into the toilet head first, and the corpse in the second toilet is coming out head first, only makes this more of a reference in my eyes. I mean, I could be wrong, so let me know what you think. Now, given that you're exploring a nuclear wasteland, you're going to find some strange looking creatures. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but scorpions don't usually look like this. Well, even with that in mind, I'm not sure I can explain this next find. Next to the drive-in theatre, which for me was a popular ghoul hangout, you can find this. So it's a really, really big foot. But I can't think of a Fallout creature that has feet like this. In fact, the only thing that I can think of is, well, Bigfoot. I mean, you might argue that it belongs to a super mutant behemoth, but I'm pretty sure the feet of the behemoth don't match up to this print. Now, the prints stop here, and I haven't been able to find any more on my journeys, but if you have any theories as to who or what these prints belong to, then let me know in the comments. Up next is the floor above, which is another Spot the Anomaly game, but with a twist. You see, in the floor above, you're tied to a chair, which means that you're unable to move, no matter what you might see. And believe me, you're going to see some things that make you want to move. Now, it's important that you don't immediately believe your eyes, as sometimes you're just seeing things and there is nothing actually there. That's why the game has a designated blink button, which only adds to the tension, as if the thing disappears after a blink, it wasn't there. But if it doesn't disappear, well, leave the room quickly. Now, one of the more noticeable features of this room is this deer head stuck on the wall, and the more cultured among you will know what's coming next. As you make your way through the floors, there is a chance that this will happen. So I'm guessing that a lot of you knew that was going to happen, but the laughing deer head is a reference to this scene from The Evil Dead. So Christmas was a couple of weeks ago now, and it's safe to say that Santa has fallen on hard times since. On one of the floors, you can find this. So times are so tough for Santa that he's resorted to twerking, and if I must say, the man sure can throw it back. Now, I tried blinking to see if this was actually happening, and when I did, something much funnier happened. The final Easter egg is probably the best of the lot. Yes, even better than a down on his luck Santa shaking it for singles. After completing the demo for a second time, this will happen. So this is now the second time that we've seen cats spinning around on our screens. As you might remember, a similar Easter egg could be found in Twisted Gallery. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is appreciated. If you like Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's literally all this channel is about. If you want to grab some gamer subs, scan the QR code on screen, and as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.